I'm Kinsley, and I thought a sun-soaked escape to a Caribbean paradise would be the lifeline my crumbling marriage needed. After years of routine dulling the spark between Travis and me, I packed our bags with hope, dreaming of lazy beach days and rekindled passion under swaying palm trees. But as soon as we arrived, I felt the familiar ache of loneliness creep back in, watching him slip away into a haze of rum and laughter with strangers. Desperate for a distraction, I wandered into a world of forbidden temptation, where a single moment changed everything. Now I'm standing on the edge of a secret so heavy it could shatter us. Will I confess, or will this paradise bury my betrayal forever? Picture this. I'm standing at the edge of a memory, the kind that feels like a half-forgotten dream, where the air smells of salt and promise. My name's Kinsley, and at 36, I've carved out a life that's steady, if not always thrilling. I'm a graphic designer, working from the quiet of my home office, sketching out logos and layouts while the world hums outside my window. Adventure calls to me in whispers, but most days I settle for the familiar: coffee at dawn, deadlines by dusk. My husband Travis has been my anchor for 8 years now. At 38, he's a sales manager with a laugh that could fill a room and a habit of reaching for one too many drinks when the pressure builds. We've weathered storms together: job shifts, family feuds, and those jagged moments when love felt more like a chore than a choice. Somehow, we've always found our way back to each other, even if the path's grown a little worn. Lately, though, there's a distance between us I can't quite name. Travis buries himself in work, coming home with stories of quotas and clients, his eyes rarely meeting mine for long. Our conversations are practical, clipped: bills, groceries, the mundane glue that holds us together. The spark we once had, that electric pull, feels like a flicker now, dimmed by routine. I miss the way he used to look at me, like I was the only thing that mattered. So, when the idea of a vacation came up, it felt like a lifeline, a chance to step out of our everyday grind and rediscover what we've lost. We booked a trip to an all-inclusive resort in the Caribbean, a paradise of white sandy beaches and turquoise waters that shimmer like glass under the sun. Endless cocktails, lazy days by the shore. It sounded like the perfect escape. I spent weeks planning, imagining us laughing again, holding hands without the weight of the world on our shoulders. I pored over brochures, my eyes catching on random details, like the names of the resort's massage therapists: Adrian, Sebastian, Mateo, listed in elegant script under spa services. Just names, nothing more. But I remember lingering on them for a moment, wondering what kind of place we were stepping into. The excitement of the trip buzzed through me as I packed our bags, folding Travis's shirts alongside my sundresses, picturing us sipping drinks under palm trees. I wanted this to be more than just a getaway. I wanted it to be a reset, a way to bridge the gap that's grown between us, to remind him and myself that we're still in this together. But beneath that hope, there's a thread of frustration, a quiet ache at how distant he's been. I catch myself wondering if a week in paradise can really mend what's frayed, or if I'm just clinging to a fantasy. Still, I pushed those doubts aside as we headed to the airport, my suitcase rolling behind me, the hum of anticipation building in my chest. And now, here we are, stepping off the plane into a world that feels like it's been painted in brighter hues. The moment my feet hit the tarmac, the humid Caribbean air wraps around me like a warm, damp embrace. It's thick with the scent of salt and tropical blooms, a stark contrast to the stale airplane cabin we've just escaped. I take a deep breath, letting it fill my lungs, feeling the weight of home slip away for just a moment. The resort sprawls out before us as we're ushered toward the shuttle, a vibrant oasis of color against the endless blue of the sky and sea. Palm trees sway lazily in the breeze, their fronds casting dappled shadows over sprawling pools that shimmer like liquid sapphire. Bright hibiscus flowers dot the landscape, bursts of red and pink that seem to pulse with life. I can't help but smile, a wave of relaxation washing over me, loosening the knots in my shoulders. This place, it's everything I imagined. a slice of paradise where I thought Travis and I could finally reconnect. But as we roll our suitcases toward check-in, I notice Travis's eyes aren't on the scenery. They're darting toward the thatched roof bar near the main lobby, where reggae music drifts through the air and glasses clink with promises of escape. I try to catch his gaze, to share this first moment of awe, but he's already muttering something about needing a drink after the long flight. My heart sinks a little, though I brush it off, telling myself he just needs to unwind. We get our room keys, and I'm thrilled as we step into our ocean view suite. The balcony overlooks a stretch of turquoise water, so clear it looks unreal, and a salty breeze dances through the open doors. I start unpacking, carefully hanging my sundresses and folding Travis's shorts, hoping we'll soon be strolling hand in hand along the shore. But when I turn to suggest a walk on the beach, he's already gone. I find him less than an hour later at that same bar, a rum punch in his hand, his laughter booming over the chatter of a group of strangers he's somehow already befriended. He doesn't even notice me standing there, watching from a distance, my excitement deflating like a punctured balloon. I stand there for a moment, feeling the sting of being sidelined. In my mind, I'd pictured us sipping cocktails by the pool, his arm around me, the sun setting in a blaze of orange and pink. Or maybe a quiet walk along the water's edge, our toes sinking into the warm sand, talking about nothing and everything like we used to. Instead, I'm alone. The sound of his carefree chuckles echoing in my ears as I turn back toward the resort. I wander aimlessly at first, my sandals clicking against the tiled paths, passing couples and families who seem so effortlessly in sync. The disappointment gnaws at me, a quiet ache in my chest. I wanted this trip to be about us, but here I am, feeling like a stranger in my own escape. As the day drags on, I watch Travis spiral further into his own world. He's at the bar for hours, downing one tropical drink after another, his voice growing louder, his words slurring into a jumbled mess. I see him stumble as he tries to gesture wildly to his newfound buddies, spilling half a piña colada onto the counter, laughing like it's the funniest thing in the world. His eyes are glassy, unfocused, and when I try to approach him, he barely acknowledges me, waving me off with a sloppy grin and a mumbled, "I'm fine, babe, just having fun." By late afternoon, he's a mess, staggering away from the bar toward the pool area. I follow at a distance, my stomach twisting as I see him collapse onto a lounge chair, his head lolling back, a half-empty glass still clutched in his hand. He's out cold within minutes, snoring under the blazing sun, oblivious to everything around him, oblivious to me. I stand there, the warm breeze brushing against my skin, but all I feel is a cold, hollow loneliness. This vacation was supposed to be our chance to reconnect, but I might as well be here by myself. The weight of that realization presses down on me, heavy and suffocating, as I turn away from him, unsure of what to do next. I decide to distract myself, to salvage something from this day. I remember the spa appointment I booked weeks ago, a massage I'd scheduled as a treat for myself. My nerves jangle as I make my way there, a mix of anticipation and unease swirling in my chest. I've never been great at relaxing, at letting go, but I need this. Something to pull me out of this spiral of frustration. The spa is tucked away in a quieter corner of the resort, a serene little haven far from the clamor of the pool and bar. As I step inside, the atmosphere shifts. The lighting is dim, soft amber glows casting gentle shadows across the room. 3 massage tables are arranged in the center, draped in crisp white linens, and the air carries the faint, soothing scent of eucalyptus, mingling with the subtle aroma of lavender. Instrumental music plays low in the background, a delicate melody of flutes and strings that seems to hum through the space, easing the tension in my shoulders before I've even lain down. It's peaceful, almost otherworldly, and for the first time today, I feel like I can breathe. Then they walk in, Adrian, Sebastian, and Matteo, the names I'd glimpsed in that brochure, now standing before me in the flesh. Adrian is tall, his presence calming, with a voice that's low and smooth like honey, paired with a gentle smile that puts me at ease. Sebastian is broader, muscular, his intense eyes locking onto mine for a moment longer than necessary, sending a small shiver down my spine. And Matteo, he's got this charming, playful air about him, a twinkle in his gaze as he greets me with a warm, "Welcome, we've got you covered." They're all professional, polished, explaining the concept of their 6-hand massage with practiced ease. Each of them will work on a different part of my body at the same time, they say, creating a synchronized experience meant to melt away every ounce of stress. I nod, a little overwhelmed but intrigued, as I slip behind a screen to change into a soft robe, my heart thudding just a bit faster than it should. I lie down on the table, face down, the cool sheet beneath me a stark contrast to the warmth of the room. They begin, and it's like nothing I've ever felt before. 6 hands move in perfect harmony, Adrian's fingers kneading the knots in my shoulders, Sebastian's strong grip working the tension from my lower back, and Matteo's lighter touch easing the strain in my legs. It's overwhelming in the best way, a wave of relaxation crashing over me, pulling me under. I close my eyes, letting myself sink into the sensation, the music and the scent of eucalyptus wrapping around me like a cocoon. For a while, it's pure bliss. As I step out of the spa room, my legs feel like they're made of jelly, trembling with every step I take. My mind is a chaotic storm, swirling with a mix of guilt and a strange electric exhilaration that I can't shake off. My skin still hums from their touch, a lingering warmth that seems to pulse beneath the surface, a reminder of every moment that just unfolded. My heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat, each beat echoing the confusion and raw emotion tearing through me. What just happened in there? How did I let it go so far? I'm not even sure I can put it into words, but the memory of their hands, Adrian's steady pressure, Sebastian's intense focus, Matteo's teasing lightness, plays over and over in my head like a loop I can't escape. It wasn't just a massage, it was something deeper, something that crossed a line I didn't even see until it was behind me. And the worst part? I felt alive in a way I haven't in years, like a part of me that's been asleep suddenly woke up, hungry for more. I stumble through the resort, the bright Caribbean sunlight blinding after the dim, soothing glow of the spa. The cheerful chatter of other guests surrounds me, families laughing, couples whispering sweet nothings, friends clinking glasses by the bar. It's all so vibrant, so carefree, but it feels like a cruel contrast to the turmoil raging inside me. Every smile I pass seems to mock the secret I'm carrying. Every burst of laughter a reminder of how far I've strayed from who I thought I was. My sandals slap against the tiled path, the sound too loud in my ears, as if it's announcing my shame to everyone around me. I try to focus on the scenery, the palm trees swaying gently, the turquoise water glinting in the distance. But all I can see is the memory of that room, the way their touches seemed to unravel me, piece by piece, until I was bare in more ways than one. How did I not stop it? Why didn't I pull away when I felt that first spark of something dangerous? I keep asking myself these questions, but the answers slip through my fingers like sand. I'm so lost in my thoughts that I almost don't notice where my feet have taken me. I'm back at the pool area, the same spot where I last saw Travis, and there he is, still sprawled out on that lounge chair, passed out under the harsh afternoon sun. His chest rises and falls with loud, uneven snores, his mouth slightly open, completely oblivious to the world around him. A half-empty drink lies tipped over beside him, a sticky puddle of rum and fruit juice pooling on the ground. The sight hits me like a punch to the gut, knocking the air right out of me. This is my husband, the man I've built a life with, the man I promised to love through everything. And here I am, standing just feet away, carrying a secret that could shatter us. I sink into a nearby chair, my shaky legs giving out beneath me, and just watch him. Tears prick at the corners of my eyes, hot and stinging, as the weight of my betrayal settles over me like a suffocating blanket. How could I do this to him? To us? 8 years of memories flash through my mind. Our wedding day, the way he held my hand through every tough moment, the quiet nights when we didn't need words to understand each other. And now I've tainted all of that with a single reckless hour. I wipe at my eyes, trying to steady my breathing, but the storm inside me only grows louder. My mind keeps drifting back to Adrian, Sebastian, and Matteo. I can still hear Adrian's low, calming voice. Feel the intensity of Sebastian's gaze even when I wasn't looking. Sense Matteo's playful energy, like a current pulling me under. Was I drawn to them because of the excitement they represented? A break from the monotony that's been suffocating me? Or was this just a terrible, impulsive mistake, a lapse in judgment I'll regret for the rest of my life? I don't know. I don't even know who I am. The next morning comes too soon, and I'm barely awake when I hear Travis stirring beside me in our ocean view suite. His voice is rough, gravelly from the night before as he mumbles, "Kinsley, where have you been?" I turn to face him, my heart instantly hammering against my ribs. He's sitting up on the edge of the bed, rubbing his temples, his eyes squinting against the sunlight streaming through the balcony doors. He looks like a man who's been through a storm. Hair mussed, face pale, the aftermath of too many rum punches etched into every line of his expression. I force a smile, though it feels like it might crack under the pressure, and I hear myself say, "Oh, just exploring the resort a bit, needed some fresh air." The lie tastes bitter on my tongue, and a lump forms in my throat, heavy and unyielding, as I watch him nod slowly, accepting my words without a second thought. He lets out a low chuckle, scratching the back of his neck. "Man, I overdid it last night, huh? Barely remember a thing after that third drink. Sorry if I was a mess." His tone is light, almost playful, as if the hours he spent passed out by the pool were just a funny little mishap. He doesn't see the way my fingers tighten around the edge of the bedsheet, doesn't notice the storm raging behind my eyes. Instead, he stretches, groaning a little, and suggests, "Hey, let's grab dinner tonight. Just you and me. Make up for yesterday." His words are casual, but they hit me like a wave, pulling me under with a mix of longing and dread. I nod, unable to trust my voice, while inside, I'm crumbling, piece by jagged piece. How can I sit across from him and pretend everything's fine when I'm carrying this weight, this secret that threatens to spill out with every breath I take? Later that evening, we're at the resort's beachside restaurant, seated at a small candlelit table under a canopy of twinkling lights. The setting is almost too perfect, like something out of a dream I don't deserve. The waves crash rhythmically against the shore just beyond us, their steady roar a constant reminder of the vast, untamed ocean, and of how far I've drifted from solid ground. The air is warm, thick with the scent of salt and blooming flowers, and the faint hum of other diners' conversations weaves through the space, a backdrop of normalcy I can't seem to grasp. Travis is across from me, his face softened by the flickering glow of the candle, looking more present than he has in days. He's wearing a crisp linen shirt, the kind I picked out for this trip, and for a moment, I see the man I fell in love with, the one who could make my heart skip with just a glance. But that memory only sharpens the ache in my chest. The waiter sets down our plates, and the aroma of grilled fish with mango salsa wafts up, mingling with the tang of lime. It should be delicious, a perfect bite of tropical paradise, but as I lift my fork and take a taste, it turns to ash in my mouth. Every swallow feels like a struggle, my throat tight with the guilt that's clawing its way up from deep inside. I can barely look at Travis, my gaze darting to the table, the ocean, anywhere but his eyes. He's talking now, his voice warm and easy, chatting about the trip, the snorkeling excursion he wants to try tomorrow, the way the sunset looks like it's been painted just for us. "This place, Kinsley? It's something else, isn't it? I'm glad we're here together," he says, reaching across the table to brush his fingers against mine. His touch is gentle, genuine, and it nearly breaks me. I manage a weak smile, nodding, but my mind is a whirlwind, replaying moments I wish I could erase, sensations I can't unfeel. Under the table, my hands tremble, hidden from his view, as I grip my napkin like it's a lifeline. Every word he speaks, every laugh that cuts through the warm evening air, feels like a blade against my already raw nerves. I want to reach back, to hold his hand and let myself believe we can still be us, but the secret I'm carrying weighs heavier with every passing second. The rest of the dinner passes in a haze, my responses mechanical, my smiles forced, as if I'm watching myself from a distance, playing a role I no longer understand. When we finally return to our suite, the ocean breeze drifting through the open balcony doors feels like a taunt, a reminder of the freedom I thought this trip would bring. Instead, I'm trapped in a cage of my own making. The last few days of our vacation slip by in a blur, each moment blending into the next like watercolor bleeding on a canvas. I go through the motions, putting on a facade of normalcy for Travis's sake, for my own sake, pretending everything is fine when nothing could be further from the truth. We lounge by the pool, take a half-hearted stroll along the beach, and share meals under the tropical sun. But I'm not really there. My mind is elsewhere, tangled in a web of guilt and confusion, replaying what happened in that spa room over and over until it feels like a permanent scar on my soul. I smile when Travis cracks a joke, nod when he points out a colorful fish darting through the waves, but inside, I'm drowning. Every night, as we lie in bed, I feel the weight of his presence beside me, his steady breathing a stark contrast to the chaos in my head. I stare at the ceiling, the shadows cast by the moonlight stretching across it like bars, and sleep refuses to come. My body is tense, rigid, as if it's bracing for the truth to spill out in the quiet. Travis shifts closer sometimes, his arm draping over me in a familiar, comforting way. But all I can think about is how I've betrayed that trust. How can I lie here, wrapped in his warmth, when my mind keeps drifting to forbidden memories, to touches that weren't his? I avoid the spa area of the resort like it's cursed ground. Every time we pass by that quiet corner, my heart races, my palms grow slick with sweat, and I quicken my pace, terrified of catching even a glimpse of Adrian, Sebastian, or Matteo. What would I say if I saw them? Would they look at me with knowing eyes, a silent acknowledgement of what we shared in that dimly lit room? Or would they act as if nothing happened, their professionalism a cruel mirror to my unraveling? I don't want to find out. I steer Travis toward the beach or the main pool instead, making excuses about wanting to soak up more sun, but really, I'm running from the ghosts of my own choices. The resort, once a paradise in my eyes, now feels like a maze of traps, every corner holding the potential to confront me with what I've done. As the days tick down, I find myself reflecting on my marriage in a way I haven't in years. Is what happened a symptom of something deeper? A crack in the foundation of what Travis and I have built? Have we drifted so far apart that I sought out a thrill, a spark, anywhere I could find it? Or was this just a fleeting lapse, a moment of weakness that doesn't define who I am or what we are? I don't have answers, and that uncertainty gnaws at me, a constant ache in my chest. I think about the distance that's grown between us, the way our conversations have become so surface level, the way I've felt invisible to him long before this trip. But then I remember the good times, the laughter, the promises we made, and I wonder if I've thrown it all away for a rush that's already fading into regret. And yet, if I'm honest with myself, and it's hard to be, there's a part of me that still feels the echo of that excitement, the way my pulse quickened under their hands, the way I felt seen in a way I haven't in so long. That lingering thrill only deepens my shame, twisting the knife further, because how can I feel both guilt and longing at the same time? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.